Good afternoon, evening, morning. I had to hop around a little bit on the carrier because I finally figured out where to get an e-breach. So the reason I said the carrier, I was just sitting here at the command deck. The reason I said the carrier is one, if you're just looking for e-breach in the general world, you have to go to an Anarchy system and the Pioneer Supply. Found that out because of Commander Burr on YouTube. I fell into one of his videos, and then in the comments of the video, I saw, hey, you can get it off your carrier. Like, really? Yeah, so you just have to install the Pioneer supplies. So I now have Pioneer supplies. Ooh, this would be good. We'll do that. So from this this person here, you're able to pick it up. So I just went in here and grabbed some. Just go to your consumables, and then there they are. I filled up, so I can't buy any at the moment. So now we can actually do these missions. How's that for crazy? My carrier's open, so if you're in my area, feel free. Come in and pick up all your e-breaches. Or e-breach. Whatever. Hey, it's a hamster. Howdy, hamster. Just me goofing off per normal. Let's go over to Douglas Center. Actually, let's go to, for a change, go to the ground base. We can go down there, right? Yeah. Don't think I've been to this base in a while. Been tinkering with settings again. Wow. Did I try Clawbot or Moltbot yet? I'm not. I kind of, I don't know. I've just been goofing off a lot lately. Between playing Elite and playing Star Citizen, I pretty much stuck up all my time doing that, and I kind of shelved any of my AI stuff for now. I'll probably pick it back up again at some point. It became, you know, I mean, it was neat and the interactions were funny, but I don't know. I have a bad habit of things getting old too quick, I think. I just wanted to goof off. It's been so cold here in the Midwest that I just don't want to do anything except goof, you know, pretty much goof off. And even in my goofing off, sometimes I goof off. So an example would be in Star Citizen, I've been doing mostly industrial, aka just moving boxes around from one system to, or not even the systems, it's just from one planet or station to another station. And then so I fire up a movie while I'm doing it. So I'm in my goofing off, I'm goofing off. So I'm getting into the, you know, full recursion in goofing off. And I put this base in a cool spot, right in the middle of a carrier, right in the middle of a crater. Yeah, I can imagine having I mean, the Claude model is so much. I mean, it's got so much good stuff about it, right? Yeah, the AI is moving so quick. I mean, I do want to get back into it because, you know, when I feel like it, I want to see what. So there's Olama, and then there's the new one. There's like an optimized version of it that has come out, which I think I can't remember the name of it at the moment. I want to explore. Um, but you know, I don't know what it is. I think it's just the hibernation from the cold. It's been so cold that I really don't want to do anything. And I imagine with all the so the government investing as much as they are in AI and such, I'm sure the boom is just going to keep booming for a while. I'm not sure where they're going to, you know, all these data centers. I don't know where they're going to get the electric, the cooling, and the place to put them all at. I know they're hoarding hardware because you know gamers aren't able to get any kind of memory chips, and SSDs are going to become scarce, and graphics cards are obviously scarce. But they can't even use them. The whole world is weird. Oh, let's go down there. Yeah. Oh, I missed a stair somewhere. Maybe it's over here. Yeah, here. Well, so the bubble, I think. So here's the thing. I mean, what's the one thing that technology always does? It evolves, right? So the bubble, as I see it, is going to be in the way they do it now. That's the bubble. It's going to change and fragment so much. So, you know, all this investment's going to want payoffs. And so how are they going to monetize this entire thing? That's where the bubble's going to and in fact, if you really look back to it, the whole internet bubble, that's what popped that bubble as well in the end. Is like, you know, all the investment was there and all the effort was there, but you got to pay the bills, keep the lights on. You know, you can't always just work with, you know, investment money because that's going to dry up at some point. And that's what popped it. And the same thing's going to happen here with the AI. Same exact pattern. It's really no different. And one of the things that's going to lead to the popping is all this money that they're investing in graphics chips. Those graphics chips uh, give it 2 years, and they're all going to be old. You know, nobody's going to want to. Back in the day, way long time ago, 10 gigabyte hard drives were, you know, $100,000. What happened now? You can get what terabytes, like I don't even know what they're up to now. I've seen 100 terabytes that you can be had, you know, and it's crazy. So I think that's the true bubble. It's not going to be like go away bubble pop. It's, you know, it's part of our future, obviously. Yeah, exactly. The same thing is going to happen to this whole mess because right now, you know, the way Nvidia generates models, is it's all 100% brute force, high power access and everything. And at some point that's going to change. I don't know of anything that's going to change how we train the models yet, but it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. Hardware is going to evolve. People are going to find new ways of doing things. But there's already a way to run these. And so you don't need your NVIDIA farms to run the models anymore. There's like at least 3 companies. I can think of the name of 2 right off the top of my head that have developed some form of what they call TPU, tensor processing unit. And it can run the model faster by magnitude at least. It can run it cheaper because it doesn't need as much power. There you go. There's those are the and apparently from what I've done my research, while Grok has some neat ideas and Cerberus has some neat ideas, Google in the end is probably going to win out because they are the one that can be a full service provider. So, blah, blah, blah. I know. I have all these ideas and opinions and stuff, but everything I'm reading, so what I do, the reason I read so much on this stuff is because I'm looking for investment opportunities and where to put money for the future. And so I try to learn all the technologies that are coming around and keep a track of them so that I can, at least be intelligent in anything that I put my money into. NVIDIA bought, no. So NVIDIA didn't buy Grok. They bought, they formed a relationship with Grok. Cerberus, I think, was with somebody else. I don't think that it was NVIDIA and Cerberus. So the thing is that if NVIDIA buys Grok, they're going to have a big taxable event. And so that's why they're doing this weird, quote unquote, relationship. So, and the man behind Grok is brilliant. He's absolutely 100% brilliant, and he's looking at the right things for how to evolve this. It's really, if you ever get a chance, and anybody that's watching this in post on YouTube, definitely take a look at that company and the man behind it, because it's an incredible just evolution of technology. The reason I came down here is I just wanted to look at the landscape and stuff and see what this looks like down here. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Let's go take a look at, I just want to see what's over here. I have organic data? I was going to say, I don't want to talk to him. I want to talk to, who do I want to talk to? Oh, the other side. So like when you go into consumers here, you cannot, well, it won't let me buy because I'm full anyways, but you can't buy these here. Let's look at the stock real quick since I haven't been down here. To get this out of the way. Thank you. Nothing I care about. It's all level 1. This is such a cool bar. I wish this, I don't know, I just wish more of it. Now that I've been playing Star Citizen and stuff, and I can see what they're doing, and some of the stuff they're doing is, it's only visibly lively. This is all static, if you will. I just wish this was more. I mean, it is cool that you got this. What is this? Load new ship. Oh. Huh. Cool. Oop. Okay. Time to go somewhere. Alright, getting distracted. Let's check out the missions. I always default to salvage because I like salvaging. All right, let's see. Where do we want to go? This needs just a straight up salvage mission. All right, let's get warmed up. Let's do one of these. Only a 2. Ah, let go. Yeah, cool. I might do that. But like I said, you know, I don't know. I'm just in a basic goof off mode. You know, our temperature here in F has been like minus -7, which if you add 30 or no, subtract 30, it's -37 minus, it'd be like -15C or something like that. So I haven't wanted to do a thing. My creativity's been mute. All right, let's get out of here. I'll probably come back around at some point. Like I said, I'm kind of... I have interests. My interest has waned at the moment. I think that our graphics problem will be solved probably spring or summer. I don't think it's going to be gone. I don't think it's going to go long. You know, people are not going to just, you know, okay, well, everybody quit using PCs. I mean, that's not going to happen. Supposedly, I mean, not that I like to support the Chinese regime or anything like that, but there's a new player in DDRs now are producing memory. There's a new company in China producing DDR memory, so... What we need is another U.S. company to just get started for us, and or, you know... Another worldwide company would be fine, too. I mean, that would be nice. The problem about that is that you got Unreal Engine. Everything's based off of Unreal Engine, and the only problem with that is that people get lazy and they just lean on the engine to do everything rather than actually optimizing. So... Well, I don't even care if it's a U.S. company. You know, I started thinking about that. I'm like, I don't care if it's a Japanese company. I don't care if it's a Korean company, South Korean. A Western-type company. Something that more in line with non-communistic country. You know what I mean? I want free competition. I don't want... I mean, it could be a French company. I don't know. Honestly, I don't really care what country... as long as it's not a dictatorial country. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the dictatorial countries, they sacrifice their people to make all the money, so they unfairly compete in a free enterprise system, and while that does help with pricing to the individual. In the whole, it actually sacrifices the free economy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So U.S. is not a. Well, I mean, to be fair, it depends on where the company is coming out of. You know, there are good U.S. companies. It just, yeah. The system works if people are allowed to all compete fairly. I was just really upset that Micron did what they did. Micron's the U.S. company. I don't know if you knew that or not. I mean, I know that they have to be beholden to their shareholders and blah, 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 but talking about sourcing stuff from the EU, but there's just nothing here tech-wise. I guess that's, well, yeah. I mean, memory-wise, there's only 3 main players, right? Samsung, is it? It's Samsung, Micron, and I've forgotten the third one. It's like high tech or high. I don't remember if it was another Japanese firm or if it was a Korean firm. But they're the 3 main players. Like, the only AI lab is Minstrel, and they're irrelevant. Oh, okay. Well, so, I mean, Taiwan is like the chip producer, right? Anything silicon, TSMC is producing the chips, the fab. That is the main fab. Intel is so far behind right now, fab wise. It really is ridiculous. And the U.S. invested so much money into Intel, so I'm not sure what's going to happen with all that. Oh, we want to don't go to the planet, go to the impact site. There we go. Thousand, yeah. I mean, I get why they did it, and I mean, they have to follow profits and all that kind of stuff. And I guess I'm just mad at the fact that that can happen. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I totally get it. I mean, but so here's the problem, right? Since you have 3 manufacturers of memory and only 3, that's the kind of thing that can happen in a total competition rich environment. It should have been able to, it'd been like, okay, well, now we're just going to sell more, right? I don't know. We'll see what the market does. But, my loyalty lies with the gamers, and I'm mad at the situation. So, yeah. It sucks to have memory prices go up 4 times, is what it's boiling down to me. And not to mention, I'm glad I bought my new system before Christmas, so. It just sucks for all the new gamers out there, because, I mean, we have a new set of gamers every year, right? And they're going to be buying their first PC and building their first PC, and it sucks right now. All right, we'll see if the performance performs. I tinkered with some settings. Let's see if I get better performance when I'm doing this time. Yesterday, I had a huge black screen. Actually, it didn't ever come back. I had to relog. Oh, and there's lights. You can see them down there. All right, let's see if we can get them off. Get off to the side here. I'm kind of sad that I didn't buy more memory when I did now. I mean, had I known that this was going to go, whoa, they're shooting. I still don't understand why I can't shoot these guys. Look at that, they're just beating me up. Well, I mean, you know, it's good that you did it because, I mean, who knows what future holds at this point and how long it's going to go. Let's retract these and see if we can get on the deck. Alright. I didn't have my shields balanced out right, so I'm like, why didn't it? I'm doing everything bad here. Alright, here's the black screen. Hopefully this goes away soon. Cool. Hate being on the dark side, though. I should just grab my, go back and get the SRV. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Windows and how they install anymore. I really want to ditch Windows in general and switch to Linux because I always seem to have a better experience with under a Linux system. The biggest problem has been gaming, but you know they've come a long way in getting games to work, and then Steam has done a lot of effort to make things more transparent. I think, you know, I mean, if Windows keeps doing what they're doing, there's a good chance that people will, especially with the Steam machine and what do you call it? What's the thing that's the Pocket Steam? There's more and more people doing that, and they're getting used to it, and those are all Linux based, so. And what's crazy is, like, in a Linux install, I can just upgrade. I can literally just take the hard drive out, copy everything over, and just upgrade. I've done it for years. Whoa, hi! What? Whoa, that's not good. This is into hull already. Okay. Guess I gotta pay attention to what's going on. I really hate that. Speaking of kind of old. What happened? I'm not sure how it fell over, but... I've seriously thought about, you know, giving up on... I've done it before where I ran Windows in a QEMU session, emulating it and passing everything through. And I got really good, decent performance out of it. But I was still running Windows at that time, gaming with Windows. I might put another NVMe in and install Steam and try what I usually play in Steam. Try to do a comparisons. Ugh. What in the heck? These guys are just wandering around. This is not the same as Star Citizen, that's for sure, from a foot standpoint. Look at that. This thing is so slow. Whoa. Well, they're tracking me now. Damn it. I don't know if I got him or... Kind of looks like I did. Nope. Alright, let's try something a little bit more. Ooh. Kind of lame, isn't it? Whoa! Ow. Okay. Shields are off. Recharging. Oh, exercise is good. Oh, I don't do any of that. Well, but oh, dang it! When it's you know, when it's minus something here, I don't want to go outside. I hardly leave the house at the moment, but whoa, whoa! All right, serpentine. Where'd the where'd the SRV go? I've lost it. They've gotten it. They've taken it out. All right, well, let's just go back and get a recharge. Oh, exercising while gaming. I can't imagine doing that. That's a little too much for me, I think. Oh, there it is. Did I not see? I didn't. Wish you could rearm your SRV in your ship, but it doesn't let you. Once you run out of bullets, you're SOL. Where the hell is it? It's 47 meters away. Should be just right. Oh, there it is. All right, let's see if we can push it over, or just get in it. Oh, you can just get in it. All right. Turn this on. Hey, it's got jets. Nice. What is that? Got him. Got him too. Yeah, it treats the soldiers here kind of like ships. Kind of annoying. Data point public. Alright, do we got anything else left? Oh, there might be two over here, I think. Yep. Whoa! Just in time. Some commandos are coming out. Good thing I looked at that radar. Holy crap. Come on over. Nothing over here. Nothing to see over here. It's all safe. Oh, I guess I was wrong. Ah, gotcha. All right. Anything else? Oh, we got two more. Bogies to the left. Now, why we don't have a radar on the turret, I don't know. Are we clear? Looks like we're clear. Well, that was exciting. As I was babbling on about AI and... Alright. We want to download. Gotta fulfill our Napsters here. Remove. No. I want to add. Gotta grab all that music we can, right? Start the download. We'll hack into the system here. Don't want to collect any of the assets yet until the download's done. Just in case it powers off the device as we're downloading. 80%. Got it. Alright, let's pull the plug. Nothing else in here. Objective is complete. What's that data point thing there? Weird, isn't it? Is there something else we can collect off here? What's this? Can't get over there. Oh, that was a lid from what I pulled off. Alright, back to the ship. I don't know why I can't use my ship guns to take out the ground targets. That makes no sense to me. Right. Board the ship. Boost the engine. No sense in turning on weapons if I can't use them. Where we gotta go? Oh, we gotta go back to our system. Whoa! Oh! Ugh. Couldn't see the planet and I ran into the atmosphere. Alright. Well, let's try this again. As soon as it cools off. Oh, the fuzz. So I guess the jump point's on the other side of the planet. The planet's in the middle. Or interfering. Ooh, don't go back into the atmosphere. Right on the edge here. Alright. Let's hit the jump drive. And we'll recenter right when it's fully charged. Yep, I'm on it. I don't know if I would be coordinated enough to... I'm going back to what you're talking about. I don't know if I'd be coordinated enough to use the treadmill and play games at the same time. I think one or the other would win out on that. Either the treadmill would become a fancy chair, or the game would suffer greatly. And I might be better off just turning it off. Kinda, you know, how I normally play. I could see... Well, it depends what kind of programming you're talking about. So, like... I sometimes get really absorbed when I program it, I would be fearful that I would fall off the treadmill. But if I'm using AI, yeah, I can do it. Because then it's only moments of, you know, of thinking about stuff and then having the computer go off and do something. Yeah, most of the time it's waiting. It depends, right? I mean, if you're... I don't know. So a lot of times when I'm writing software, it's more like doing a sculpture kind of thing, right? So you start one way and then you tear that apart and redo it, and then you start down another way, and then, oh well, I really like this better, and it's like I hammer it into form rather than yeah. It's an ever evolving thing. Sometimes people would call it a mess, but it's an ever evolving thing for me. So it just comes down to how absorbed I would get within it. But I think it's a good idea to try. Don't get me wrong. I just fear for my life, you know, doing it. But I can see, you know, because like if your mind wanders, then you'd fall off the treadmill more. So I could see that be a problem. I so if I had I had a treadmill once. My sister stored it here, and I used it a whopping 4 times, and then it became a laundry holder. So one, I didn't ask for it; it was just here because, you know, my sister had to have a place to store it, and, you know, who else's place, you know, likes to have lots of stuff sitting around doing absolutely nothing, you know, me, obviously. So I think really what it boiled down to is the parents didn't want it at their place, and so I was the default. But yeah, I used it. I think it was 4 or 5 times, and I don't know. I honestly, if I'm gonna exercise, I would much rather just go out for a long walk and just wander, and so, you know, make it. It's more of a relaxing thing for me. So I like using that as just a way to step away from something, and I could sit there and think about it, and, you know, effectively mind being completely unleashed and wandering freely of coming up with an idea. So, I mean, I understand why you would want to exercise at your desk, because I spend way too much time at my desk, especially during the winter when I don't want to go anywhere, because thus the and then in the summer it gets too hot. So I'm like one of those, you know, I can't win. I get 2 weeks in the fall and 2 weeks in the spring, and that's it. I used to grab my camera, and we have a state park nearby, and I used to just take my camera and just wander the state park, and in the end it really didn't matter what I took shots of, because a lot of times what I would just end up doing is I would run them through. This is back when I had a subscription to Adobe, which I really hate Adobe these days. But Lightroom I really liked from a workflow standpoint, and I would run all the photos through Lightroom, and I would edit them and stuff, and then I would do absolutely nothing with them after that point. It was all an exercise. There was only, like, in the end, I think out of 500 plus shots, I'd have 3 that I'd do anything with. Affinity Suit, I looked at it. I didn't really try it. So my workflow for Lightroom, which was great, is I would stick the card in, and it would read it all in, and I'd have a big, contact sheet to look at of all the stuff I did, and then I could apply all my default filters that I had set up previously. And then I would start drilling down to anything I thought was interesting at that point. I don't know that Affinity would support that workflow, and that was a nice workflow for me. But but in the end, I never really tried it, so there was no way for me to know if it would. I did look at the fact that it was nice because you could, buy it. It was a theoretically one-time purchase, unless you needed upgrades or if you wanted the newer quote-unquote major version. I heard a lot of good things about it. I think Lee mentioned it too. So, I don't know. Where am I going? So yeah, because I got rid of that workflow, and the reason I got rid of that workflow is Adobe really messed around with me, and it cost me a lot of money at one point, and I will never buy another Adobe product again because they're so evil. Because I lost my workflow, and it lost some of the fun, right? Because part of the fun was bringing the photos back after the travel out and going through that process, and it was just kind of a neat completionist kind of thing, right? You got all these photos, you got them into a state that looked really cool, because I was shooting in, I don't remember what it was wasn't the Canon, it was a Nikon camera, and I was using the the non-color balanced version, so you could color balance it in post. And I came out with all kinds of cool looking photos, and I would be posting them places. I don't remember all the places. I even ran couple of them through a contest of I won something in the contest on my first submission, which was really kind of cool. But I don't know. I think that one little thing just derailed that entire thing, because I was doing my own prints. I have a Canon printer. I can print out up to 11 by 14 or something like that, or whatever size that is letter wise. I can't remember. So, yeah, and I haven't found my way back to that. So I don't know. Maybe I will. Blah blah blah. What's an operation again? Oh, this is where they want me to go into a military base and turn off the power. This seems so wrong. Here, go over to this military base full of people with guns and just turn off the power. I don't. That seems all these. And like the procurements, seize weapon schematic from a hidden cache. Well, sure. What do we need? This kind of looks cool. Go do it. Go to the planet. Go to the system, to this planet. All right, we'll do it. The Russian. I don't think that's going to make any difference. You saw this last mission, and that was just to go and salvage something, a well-protected something, but nonetheless. Oh, okay. Allow my rambling to give you material for you to exercise. All right. I know. I mean, this is kind of one of my outlets too. You know, I just get a chance to talk about things and explore ideas and stuff while I'm gaming. I know it's kind of silly. I can't just sit here and play is my problem, I think. Auto launch. Well, you're not much into space anyways, Hamster, and so I kind of understand why. I may am thinking about doing Star Citizen a little bit because there's some neat things in Star Citizen. I mean, there's some terrible things in Star Citizen as well that just don't make any sense. But I mean, it is an alpha game and it's been in alpha for 12 years, so you know, what do you expect? But there are some really neat things in it. I bought the cheapest ship I could to get into it. So, so everything I've been doing is all been generated in game. So, and all I'm doing, I think I mentioned, all I'm doing is just I'm moving boxes. But it's got, you know, it's got its own level of fun. Except when terminals quit working, and actually it would be very funny to watch because of the sheer just I don't, it's like comedy of errors that all of a sudden the door doesn't work. You so you part of the comedy is to try to figure out, okay, well, how can I get it to work? Like an example would be I have a ship that you have to take a small little elevator to get in. It's got 3 layers to it. You know, when you're on the base on the ground, you call the little cherry picker looking elevator. It comes down. You get in the little cherry picker and you go in, and it goes to the middle level. But if you accidentally just say, you know, so there's a button there that if you just press the button, it does one thing. But if you hold the button and then you have to dial in what level you want to go to. So when you press the button, it does the default action. So what would your first thought be? What would be the most used feature of said button? It'd be to go to the middle layer where the cockpit is, right? No, it goes to the highest layer, which has the onboard tractor beam to pull in material. So that's the default. And how many times do I forget or I accidentally just press the button? You know, a few times. So I'll have to then get back in the cherry picker and take it down to the middle level. But the crazy part is when it quits working and you're in the middle layer, you can't get out of the ship. Except I found that there's an airlock. And so I just jump out the airlock. And then sometimes the door buttons don't. Just magically they quit working. You can't, everywhere you go in Star Citizen, you have to press a button to take an elevator or take a tram or take something to get to. And occasionally they just randomly fail. Another example. So they have like the whole concept of a hangar. So in order to get into your ship and go somewhere, you have to go to the hangar. So you go to the hangar, and then you got to go to a terminal, and your ship has to get pulled out from under in hangar storage, and sometimes that doesn't work. It's great when everything works. It's magical, right? It's just like, I mean, you have to press a lot of things to get stuff to work. I mean, this game here, Elite Dangerous, is streamlined, but it's very flat. right? So like, you know, when we do these missions, the AI is kind of weird in this. You saw them; they were just, I mean, they, you know, you could kind of explain it like they're hunting me down. So I mean, I kind of get it, but the seeking a logarithm that they use is not what we're used to in games these days. Or for that matter, you know, the way they represent them in combat. They're getting better. I mean, they're better than what I saw in the past. Don't get me wrong. And there's a patch coming out at some point for foot operations. They're supposed to be upgrading all these things. And so that'll be interesting to see what happens. Anyway, I think I started this out by saying that I should try Star Citizen. Yeah, I don't go on tangents. No, not at all. And I'm sure this is going to sound really funny on YouTube when I post this. People are going to go, "What are you talking about?" But I think they're used to me now. But back to what I was really getting on, is I do think it would be interesting to put some of that content up. Maybe not the moving the boxes, but like I said, there's a lot more that goes on than just moving the boxes. You know, suddenly you can't get out of your ship. Or what happened to me yesterday is I kept going to somebody else's hangar. And then I even got a crime stat, which is their way of, you know, like you being marked like you're doing bad things. It's kind of like a faction kind of level stuff, and your stat has a number, and as the number goes up, you've done more bad things. And then if you get too high up on that, it will generate a bounty hunter contract on you, and players will come and hunt you down. That didn't happen to me yet, but I could see it accidentally happening. That's for sure. Because you can get those crime stats for silly things like taking too long to exit a borrowed hangar, or silly things, just all kinds. I've seen a lot of people dumping like stuff out in stations, like suits and stuff, and I wonder. I was tempted to look at it, the stuff, but I'm like, this seems like a trap. I'm wondering if you pick this up, you suddenly have a crime stat, and then it's open season on you. Nice thing is, well, kind of nice things. The only thing that drops on you is what's in your backpack, not on your equipped person. So you just have to manage what you carry with you at all times. I did do a delivery contract. There's a system called Pyro, and it's kind of a pirate's haven kind of system. Very minimal rules, or minimal places that have rules. And so I did a delivery out there just to see what would happen. And I was trying to make my way. I actually successfully made the delivery. You had to land on the planet, get the stuff off your ship, and into like a dock, and get it committed to whoever you were sending this to. How did I mess this up? Oh well. We'll step on the gas here. But at any rate, as I was trying to find the way home, speaking of things that just quit working, there's a nav system where in Star Citizens they have quantum travel, which is kind of like hyperspace kind of thing. And I was trying to pick a place to jump to for quantum travel, and every time I went to click it, it didn't work. And I was trying to get it to work, and then something came up over to me, and just all I heard was this shrieking noise. And all of a sudden, the ship was like half dead, and then 2 seconds later, it was fully dead. I mean, it was so quick. All right, there's the marker. Irregular markers. Not sure what this is all about. This is new. Don't see any lights. Some 700 meters. What's all this stuff? I can't target it. There's all kinds of stuff on the ground here. Alright, well, let's land. Waiting for the gear to go down. There that is. Let's go out. Disembark. Can't wait to have night vision on my suit. What was that? Huh. Doesn't this seem like a trap to you? Oh, we need breacher charges. Hold on. We actually have some now. I see you posted. I'm like, wait, I just said all that. Manage inventory. I don't know why I got all this in here. E-breach. I lost where I was. Was I just over here? Need a proper flashlight around here, man. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Yeah, I need to get night vision on the suit. Like right in the head. Not sure what to do there. Yeah, okay. Keypad. Probably an e-breach. Let's see what... I want to open these first. Oop. I saw it for a second. Where'd it go? There. Oop. Ah. Woo, stuff. I see prohibited on a lot of these stuff. I like prohibited. Prohibited? Push. That sounds like drugs. The NSA lights. That would be fun. It is drugs. Well, I mean, you know. All right. And let's go get another breach. Put this away. How you doing? Welcome to the weirdness. Speaking of weirdness, where the heck that? Oh, there it is. Overcharge the door since you already have cut off the panel. I don't know. I never claim to know what I'm doing. Let's go try it. I think this is, it's in scan mode. Oops. Go in the illegal mode. Maybe this is not the one I'm looking for. I think maybe it's this one. Yeah. There it is. Zap. Yeah, I would get there sooner or later. You know, I've done this before, but I completely forgot. I do mostly industrial stuff, and I just decided all of a sudden to start getting more into... Ooh, grenades. I'm all full up on those. Anything up here? No. I just started thinking about doing this because the foot operations is coming, and I want to see what that entails. And then I also was babbling about medic, but I already have medic kit. Okay. How are we doing? Oh, let's go charge. Is it this thing? No, it's scan. It's this one in... Ah. Yeah. See? I know some things. I am not an expert, though. Yeah, so, I mean, I've done all kinds of stuff in here. I was doing, you know, colonization in the system, and I just decided, you know, I kind of been ignoring foot. I didn't buy Odyssey until, like, I don't know, last October, because it just, you know, it just wasn't being reported as good. You know what I mean? Just seemed kind of meh. Let's go get some more juice. I mean, I know a lot of people loved it. So, I mean, this is all my personal opinion. I'm not declaring anything here. I've always liked Elite. I always had fun. Oh, here it is. Only took me, you know, 4 rotations around the same box. Why do I think that's going to be a problem? Okay, do we have a shovel? Yeah, I'm thinking that this isn't going to happen. Yeah. Okay. Is it actually called slicing? Because that's kind of a cyberpunk term, which is cool. Yeah, I could see why. There's really no reason why it's like this. All right, I think we are. Oh, huh? Are we missing something? Yeah, we're missing the from the cache. Well, that's certainly a problem, isn't it? Why do I think that the one piece I need is in here? All right, let's try something real quick. I don't know if this will matter. I'm going to go get a breacher, and I don't know if I can attach it or not. Yep. That's what I was guessing. Let's reload. Breacher. I was kind of bummed on how they do the e-breach. So I found a video by Commander Burr. It's here somewhere. There it is. On how to buy e-breach, and he was saying that you had to go to a Anarchy system and buy it from Pioneer Supplies. I'm like, I look up where I'm at compared to the that place is. It's 14 jumps away, and that's at a jump of 35 or something like that. That's not what I want. I'm like, that's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? Huh. Oh, there it goes. We're in. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I saw in the comments, it's like, oh, hey, if you have a carrier, which I do, luckily, there was what I wanted. You can have a Pioneer store in there and you can buy it from there. I'm like winning. So 2 carrier jumps later and I had my stuff and I could buy it anytime I want now. So I have a source. I don't have to do, 14 jumps to buy this stuff. But, when you really think about it, why didn't they just have like some person on every station just be kind of like the turncoat kind of guy that you just like he'll slide you some or have the bartender allow you to buy it from them. If they didn't want it to be part of the Pioneer store of every place, you could have easily just done something like that. Rather than, no, you got to go find an Anarchy system. And then they got to have a Pioneer store. Both. It just seems kind of silly. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be cool just to, you hop into the bar and it's like there's some guy standing there, and it doesn't have to be in the same place every time, too. It could be just some guy, he'll show up and he's got like 5 of them or something, I don't know, I think it's just missed opportunity, honestly. The bar could have been so much more. It's just like, so like one of this, I don't know if you... Yeah, oh my gosh. So like, I had a... Oops. Oh, I'm in the system. Silly me. I had this idea about how they should, now that we have colonization and stuff in the game, they should have a big war with some, it can be Thargoid if you wanted to, but I would more like, it'd be better to go with like a humanoid faction of some sorts and have it start destroying actual NPC stations. you know, or have the chance to it, and have the player base have to come to the rescue and defend against it. And if they don't get enough people or enough supplies and people, or however you want to, whatever mix you want to put in there, that station is gone, and somebody could roll in there and rebuild it, and it can become a player station. You know what I mean? Granted, there's a few places that you probably couldn't do that with. They would have to be protected class. But you could do it with the rest of them. Same with, you know, people own systems too. They could be equally under attack. I don't know. It just seems like there's so many other opportunities. I love the fact that this game is so well. So what am I trying to say here? They're so close to reality. Like, you know, you have we're actually in the Milky Way system. The fact that in Milky Way galaxy, every system, you know, is like every star, or the smallest distance between each star typically is around 9 light years, which is what they've kind of found in real life. Having the nebulas, and the fact that there's the nebulas are the real nebulas of the Milky Way, and you know, I mean, I love all that. And you know how they deal with flight and stuff like that is kind of neat, but there's so many things that they could be doing. An example, what if we figured out how to create a jump gate and have the jump gate be positioned somewhere in the Milky Way galaxy that we can jump to another galaxy? A whole new land. I don't know that they need it. I know that they keep quoting that the current galaxy is only X% discovered. And maybe they don't need that expansion at this point, but I there's so many different things. I don't know what their limitations are, though. I haven't really researched what their server farms look like and what kind of resources they have and what kind of... I know they have a lot of people working for them, though. It seems like they have a lot going on. I don't know where the bottlenecks are and what would be allowing something like this. Because so end around back to the player base. Since you have construction, I mean, that leads me to believe that you can do a lot more than what we've seen. As so that Polaris or something has that jump gate. No, really? That's interesting. See, this game has been around for so long. It's got so much lore, and people have discovered so many cool things. I mean, I'm not an expert, obviously. I've known about this game forever, and I played the original Elite and all that kind of crud, but I don't remember the lore that well. I kind of do stuff. Can you check Polaris on the galaxy map to see permit luck? Sure. Let's take a look. Permit required for this location. Okay. You can't go here until we're ready for you to go here. Got it. Oops. Yeah, and as active as a lot of the people who are in this game, I have to believe that I don't think there's a way to get the permit in the game currently, or it's not enabled. Because somebody would have found it by now, you know? There are some people in this that know every cranny, every nook and cranny, corner? I don't know what the word is. Whatever. Cranny, that's the word I'm trying to use. There's so many people that know every bit of this game, and they would have found it. It wouldn't be me, but I mean, there are other people out there that are just that good at this. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I do need to do some research and see what Frontier has for resources. I know they have a lot of people. I don't know what their skill sets are, and what the division of labor is for that. Um, and I'm not bashing them at all. Like an example, our so I currently own three systems. I call them my primary, my secondary, and my third system. I don't like continuing with it, but at any rate, the first, second, and third. The first system I built with some of my friends, and we built it with a Coriolis, but the Coriolis disappeared, and I put a ticket in, and I've heard back from them 3 times now. There's a bug in the game that they're trying to solve, and it's affecting multiple people apparently. But and I've offered, hey, can I do any testing with you? And they responded in non-form letter, which I thought was amazing. So they have a community person that actually reads this, understands it, and can reply intelligibly to the whole thing. So I have no problem with them as a company. I'm just trying to understand. This company, this game has been here for so long. You would think that some of this would be interesting because it generates more people that want to play. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what happens. And maybe they're just not allowed to do it too. They have other priorities at the moment. The company, they have a direction, right? I mean, we've all worked for that kind of company where they have a map and they're following it. And the engineers have plenty of ideas and they pitch them, but they're just not allowed to do them. Or it's in the roadmap and it keeps getting knocked back, right? I don't know. Another one of my tangents. I mean, I've worked in the industry, so I know, not the gaming industry, but I've worked in programming software for many years. So I mean, I know what it's like. I like going down on the foot to turn in the mission. I know you could probably do everything from the cockpit, but I like wandering around. Now that I have Odyssey, I like seeing all the different station styles, and I still discover something new even though I've been in the same station, 20 times. I never know where the exit is, though. I think I was reading that they wrote their own engine for this entire thing. I forgot what they called it, but I think it's all 100% custom engine. I always think I need to get not as close to the terminal as I do. I don't know why that is. It's weird. Show me the data units. Ooh. Heard it twice. I'm not sure what the second one was about. But we won. Yay. I really like coming down here too. So we're building a large surface port in my system 1, and it's taking forever. But my favorite thing to do once the surface ports are done is to come out and look at the landscape. And I try to set up the bases so they have an interesting feature of some sorts. I mean, a hill is a feature, but it's, so-so on the interest side. But, hey, I only got so much I can work with. So, but, yeah. System where colonies could be destroyed by hostile aliens idea. That sounds cool on its face, but I can only imagine the pain people would feel in the colonies that their haul millions. Oh, no, I totally get that. But here's the thing. I mean, I would be upset as well, but if so, how do I want to? So your system is going to have defenses, right? If they could get, and I get what you're saying, if they can't drum up support, but in the end, that's the whole point, right? You got to have a community that's going to be called to arms, and you got to incentivize that, right? So like the big incentive on the community goals they found is the pre-engineered items, right? So if they turn a base defense, even if it's somebody else's, it doesn't matter, into like a community event with potential rewards and stuff like that, excuse me, and you incentivize your community, you'd get the support. And if they fail, even with the support, still think about the game. It's a breathing game. You know what I mean? I mean, it's going to suck when they fail. I get it. And you poured so much time and effort into it. But look at it another way. So after it gets destroyed, you now can turn around and try to take it back. And if you have a system set up for the rebuilding, where instead of hauling millions of material again, you're actually repairing the bases, which means you need less material than you would to build the whole thing again, but it would still require something. You know, one big thing about this is I don't want it to be overly harsh, but there needs to be some risk in it. Otherwise, you know, this life you're breathing in the game is plastic, very thin. You see what I'm saying? Obviously, it would have to be balanced out so that if you do get enough support, and enough support, you know, we don't know what that means, and if you add more defensive things that you can build. An example would be, you know, you could actually put in turrets and stuff like that to repel anything that would try to come in and beat up the base. And when it destroys the base would not disappear entirely. You'd have a rune that's there when it's done. I don't know, you follow what I'm getting at? Sorry, I'm just tangenting left and right. But there's got to be a risk of loss no matter what. You can't make it super simple. Otherwise, you know, what's the point, right? You I don't know. I mean, maybe that's why there's nothing that's been done, right? They couldn't. They're worried about the risk and, you know, ticking off your user base and stuff like that. Maybe I don't know. I think it would be a more interesting game though if you had it. So. But in the end, if you don't have the resources or the server support to accomplish something like this, then I see where that would be a problem, because adding new hardware to a game like this that's been around for as long as it has, if you're not seeing your numbers increase enough, they just wouldn't want to invest in it like that. So I totally understand that would happen. So I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. At any rate. So here's a question. How much resource would it take for you to actually be able to sit at the bar? Not to mention there's not a chair free. Actually, can you sit? Oh, you can. You can sit here. Excuse me. Oh. Well, I think that might be a wrap for me. I normally run about an hour-ish. We're an hour and a half. But that first mission took quite a while. I was surprised. I think I am going to call it here in the bar. That sounds like a good place to land. All right. Well, I appreciate the new people dropping in, and I hope you had a little bit of fun with my discussion and my weird tangents. I will be back tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.